Do you ever wonder how I shoot my vlogs or my walk with me videos? Well, this week I'm showing you my Sony A7 III vlogging setup. Let's get into it. Hey everybody, and welcome back to another video. This is Josh here, and today I'm showing you my A7 III setup that I use for run and gun shooting. I picked up the A7 III a little bit after its release. This has been my main go-to setup for all of my Walk With Me series, for any of the videos that I am out and about. So I'm just gonna flip this around here and go piece by piece and show you everything in my setup. So first up, we have the Sony A7 III, and this thing has been absolutely amazing. Speaking of that, apologies for the quality. I'm using my old Canon G7X to shoot this. This thing has been just blowing me away though. I've had it for a couple of months now and absolutely love it. But yeah, so I've talked about this in a little more detail before. I'll be sure to link that video. But the lens I'm using with this is the Zeiss Batis 25mm. I really like that 24-25mm focal length for any sort of talking head style videos. Never been a big fan of that super wide look that a lot of people tend to prefer. I usually like a little bit of a longer lens for most things, but the 25mm gives me plenty of focal length to talk, and you can still see a little bit of what's around me. But this combo is just killer. It's tack sharp, looks just absolutely incredible. And attached to the lens here, I have the Fenn variable ND filter. This thing is necessary for anyone trying to make videos if you're outdoors at all. Just lets you shoot in the brighter sunlight without having to affect your other settings. So if you want to keep that nice smooth quality look, you want to make sure and have an ND filter on your setup. And then going from here, all of this is attached to, this is the Zhiyun Crane version 2. I picked this up and was actually using it with my little baby Canon G7X before I picked up this camera. So the Crane was also a game changer. If you're out and about walking around, especially vloggers, it's a little bit of extra setup and work, but it just makes the footage that much smoother and more professional looking. So much of my style is completely credited to the shots that I'm able to get when I use this gimbal. I couldn't recommend it enough. I mean, honestly, that had a bigger impact than even the new camera, I would say. You know, I just saw the Ronin S came out. That thing looks amazing, but honestly, this does everything I want it to. I have no complaints, so I'm gonna be holding on to this for a long while. So attached to the gimbal, I have a few other accessories here. I have this little magic arm with a phone mount attached to it. That ends up working really well for me. Ideally, I'd have a small HD focus attached right here, but this lets me monitor my framing without any extra expense. It's a little bit delayed, so it's not gonna be the best or most ideal, but if it's that or nothing, if you're really on a tight budget, this has been working pretty well for me. So last up here on the bottom of the gimbal, we have a little Manfrotto tabletop tripod. If you have a gimbal, you always wanna make sure and have some sort of tripod so you can set this down if and when you need it to. It also works a little bit like an extension if you are shooting yourself, so you can really get that much further out, especially with the 25mm lens compared to some people using 16s and 18s. I really love this thing. It was pretty cheap. I think it was 30 bucks at my local camera store. Couldn't recommend it enough. Really nice small form factor. And if you'll notice, I don't actually have any audio set up here, and that is because I am using the Rode SmartLav Plus. I have that wired into a Zoom H1, and that just works for a really great, easy setup. I used to actually have a little flash clamp set up with a Rode Video Micro with this gimbal in the past, but I recently upgraded to the SmartLav because I wanted to have the phone in the spot where the microphone used to be. It's been working really well. I like being able to get further away from the camera and still get really nice, clean, crispy audio. And then plugged in here, I have the Zoom H1. This thing is really handy. I've been wanting to pick up a second one. Old, inexpensive, works perfectly though. Essentially, I'm getting a nice wireless lav setup here for a fraction of the cost, and you can sync it in Final Cut really, really easily. But yeah, so that is my setup, everybody. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I thought it'd be a fun little video. You know, the longer I have this YouTube channel, the more I get enveloped in making better videos and working on my videography and photography and cinematography and all the ographies. But I hope you guys like this. I know a few people have been asking and I just love talking about it. So please like the video if you enjoyed this. I know I do tech stuff on here every once in a while, and be sure to subscribe if you do want to see more. I put out new videos every Monday and Friday. But until next time, I'll talk to you all later. Have a good one.